I'm the owner of Pretzel Australia, and I'm going to teach you how to use our at-home pretzel kit today in case you need a bit of a hand. So this is how the kit comes, and it comes in a double kit. So basically there's 2 bags of flour. You can do this 2 times, or you can do it 1 time real big. I'm going to show you how to do half the kit today. In the standard pretzel kit, you get 2 sets of pretzel doughs. So each flour you get is 1 kilogram, and you get 2 of those. A little bag of pretzel salt, and that's for putting on the top. Just be mindful that this is not like regular salt whatsoever, so don't throw a bunch of rock salt on your pretzels. It will not be nice. 2 little bags of browning solution, 2 little bags of yeast. I'm going to show you what you're going to need utensils wise. It should all be pretty standard and found inside your home. You're going to need some baking paper and a big tray. You're going to also need some cling wrap, the world's smallest whisk. A measuring jug, a couple bowls, and also a big flat. You're going to need a clean dry surface. So first things first, you have to get yourself some lukewarm water. You want 500 mils. You want to be really cautious at this stage because if your water is too hot, you're going to kill your yeast and your dough won't rise. And if it is too cool, then your yeast will be having a little nap and they won't do what they're supposed to do because they will not activate. So just make sure that it's nice lukewarm water. You want to be really accurate. Baking is like a very accurate sport. Grab open your bag of yeast and then just gently sort of sprinkle them on the top, and you want to kind of spread it out as much as possible. Domestically, you want to crank up your oven as high as it will possibly go. Fan forced is also better. Alright, so the next step is we have to whisk the yeast together with the water. So he's been sitting around for maybe 15 minutes like this. So you want to make sure that you mix it up really, really well and get all of the little bits and bobs off the sides. Once you've got your yeast all ready to go and whisked up, you're going to want to add the yeast to your flour. It's really important that you have exactly 1 kilogram of flour. So even though these are 1 kilogram bags, you have to make sure to just measure out. Start with 900, and then if you feel you need it, you can add in the last little bit. Basically make a well in the middle of your bowl, in the middle of your flour, throw in your yeast, and bring it together from the middle out. So if you're doing it old school, like I am, and you get to this point where you kind of like, you want to make sure that all of the really, really sloppy bits have got some flour attached to them, but it's still all in bits and bobs. You want to use your hands. So make sure you give them a thorough little wash, which I did beforehand, in case you know. Don't do that. Kneading, essentially, you want to go from the outside in, fingers to palms. Fingers to palms, fingers to palms. It should have like a little bit of a bounce to it. Now you can tell that I didn't do all of that. But anyways, it should have like a little bounce to it, and it should be a little moist. Ugh, horrible word. But basically when you get it into a nice bowl, you want to roll her out and they should. For good rising. So whatever bowl you choose to put it in, you want to spray it. You want to spray the top as well. Throw a little bit of Glad wrapper on her. You want to put her in like a warm spot, nothing too hot, nothing too cold, and it'll take about 40 to 45 minutes to rise. In the meantime, you can clean up. So for this next bit, while our dough is rising, we are making what we call browning solution. Essentially, browning solution helps to speed up the browning process on the outside of the pretzel. Basically, for 1 little sachet, you want to just throw the whole sachet in and put in about a cup of warm water just so it can dissolve. Something flat and large and shallow is best for this, just because we're going to dip the pretzels in it when they're already enrolled. And you just want to make sure that it's super well incorporated. So once you finish your browning solution and that's set aside, just prepare yourself a tray like this one and throw some baking paper on it. So at this stage, when it's been maybe like an hour or so, your dough should have enlarged, gotten bigger. When you have your dough out on the bench, you want to sort of work it into like a flat situation. But the best thing you want to do is try and create something that's an equal thickness the entire way around. You want to take the Glad wrap that you used on your first wrap of the bowl and use it to cover the base, because any air will dry it out and become really, really difficult to roll. Make sure you put the pizza cutter down on the counter first and then push through it. like that. Basically what you want to do is you want to get yourself a nice perfect little sausage. Every single one of our pretzels weighs between 160 and 170. And then basically from here you can go between your fingers and your palms. Fingers, palms, fingers, palms. You want to get yourself to about 1 meter. And the middle should be thicker, if anything, and the corners you want to try and taper them off into like little teardrop kind of situations. So when you get to this point, the way we teach people is it's like a gigantic smiley face. Imagine that this is a pole and you're wrapping this one around the bowl. Keep your left hand, this is for righties, keep your left hand still, take your right hand and wrap around. I wonder if Lucky can make it slow-mo for you, but it's like...
Big motion.
You want to make like a big, you want to end up with like a circle. If you want to cheat, because this is all overwhelming, you can do one of these. Which is just not as fun. It's not. And then when you get here, pick where these little guys go. They're your feet, so we call them feet if we're talking about pretzel anatomy. And when you get to this point, you want to sort of roll your pretzel back so you can tuck your little feeties in. And then there you have it. These are the most structurally sound part of them. You want to dip it in your browning solution. Thanks, Lucky. And you want to make sure that the entire thing is covered. I'm talking swimming. Once your pretzel's gone for a little swim, you want to throw it directly onto your tray. At this point, you would want to cheese the pretzel, which I'll show you how to do later. But if you want just a good old original boy, put him on the tray, make sure he looks all cute, and then throw her into the oven for approximately 15 minutes. But when he's golden brown, he's good to go. So you can test whether or not your pretzel is cooked. If you flip it over onto the bottom, you should see this little imprint, a little outline, like a burn line almost. And voila, you have pretzel. The way we top them is we use a product called ghee, which is basically a clarified butter. It's dairy-free, but it's not vegan because, you know, cows are used in the process. It acts as a barrier between the air and the pretzel. All of our pretzels are completely and utterly preservative and additive-free, so they're all basically homemade dough. So we need to put something on them to make sure that the air can, you know, stay the heck out. At this point, when it's still lovely and glistening, that's when you want to put on your little pretzel salts. Oh, so good. This is a lot of salt, but I like a lot of salt personally. Salty bitch. And there you have it. Get your little pretzel. I'm so proud of you guys. Well done. Thanks and goodbye. I hope you guys enjoy making your little pretzels and tag me in them. I have mine on the pretzel account sometimes. So let us know what you make. If you are going to put cheese on top of your pretzel, you want to go with a blend of 50% like cheddar, tasty, something like that, and 50% mozzarella. Good one is pizza cheese. Like you just go to the pizza aisle, the cheese aisle, and there'll be a pizza blend. You want to let it sit for a little bit to make sure that it can get sticky enough to take on the cheese. If you want to cheat, you want to go a little bit faster, use a clean tea towel, and you can kind of dab off. You want to throw him face down into your cheese. Best to just push it in with the back of your hand. The front of your hand, you do not have to worry about flattening them. They rise up again in the oven anyways. If you want to now, this is like where you could put pepperoni on it or bacon, whatever warms your little heart. Shall we say what's in my fridge? I don't know. Other people have weird things against these footy frames. Which is like this. You can throw her in the oven.